Hi, Freddie here with the update for BeyondD6. Now, last week I was fairly down on the whole thing because I knew it was in no position to be presented to anybody. But things are different this week. As I said, what a difference a week makes. Things are looking a lot better. So if I flip to my desktop view, you can see the login screen still looks exactly the same. And if we log in, still looks exactly the same as well. Most of it's going to look pretty similar. Let's not bother doing that. Let's go back. Our characters. Helps if I click on it. Now everything's running very slow as before because it's still all running on my desktop machine here. The database is running there. The web server is running there, the browser is running there, my recording software is running there, and the 1,000,001 tabs I usually have open in my browser with other websites I run and all that kind of stuff are also slowing the machine down. So it looks a bit slow, but it's working pretty darn well. So last week we created Bob the Human. Well, to test something out during this week, I've changed him to Bob the Gamorrean. Go over. Everything loads in. So as you can see, I've added all the species out of the 2nd edition revised handbook. I've made this one a Gamorrean because it's the tidiest one. There's still a lot of database tidying up to do. I've also added force sensitivity to the system. We click over, you see the write-up for Gamorrean, with the story factors and special abilities and an image. If we go over to the character, I've spent everything except 1D of starting dice and 1D of starting skills. Now, the pictures aren't quite nicely sized. As I said, there's still tidying up to do. Here we go. We've got all the skills. Under the stats, taking their level straight from the stats. Everything's decoded into dice now. I've still to tidy this up slightly where you've got the minimums and maximums for the species showing. Beneath the picture, which in a soon revision will be changed to be user defined. It will take the picture for your species by default, but you'll be able to upload your own pictures as well. We've got the special abilities. And then any description written. Things are a little oddly sized here. And we've got our 4 skills at the bottom here. Now, whereas if I increase my archaic guns, it increases the skill and drops the starting skills by 1 pip. I'll put it back. And likewise, if I update my dexterity, it updates that, and then, as I said, it's running everything on the desktop, so it updates everything below slowly. I'll take it back up. 4 skills under D6 work slightly oddly, in that the first dice you buy during character creation has to come from your starting dice, and then everything else comes from your starting skills. But that's all built in, it's just with the plus minus here. So if I click on my control, it'll update to 1D. I've still got some debugging code going on here, so it unbolds to show me that it has updated it. And we've lost the 1 dice of starting dice. So the first dice come with attributes. Now if I hit plus, the +1 has automatically come off the starting skills. And if I go back again, minus on twice, it drops it back down to 0D, and it restores them up here. And if I take away the 1 pip, my dexterity, wait for everything to update, and we go back to force skills. Let's try the sense this time. It does not increase, but you can see it went unbold because it is reaching away to the database and testing that, and coming back and going, nope, there isn't enough starting dice to do that. So it just won't let you do. I'll enforce the limits at some point, but we are definitely getting there. I'm going to add force, which will allow you to choose your actual force abilities, you know, your control mind, lightsaber combat and all that from a list, depending on how many force skills you've got or points in the force you've got. You can choose a number of those abilities. And from the delete button. But once these, you will be able to complete the character. Now I'm putting that in to stop any cheating. So it has been completed. Then it goes over that you can add experience and you can spend experience to level your character up as you play it. But the way the D6 system works, where you spend a number of experience points to increase the pip based on the number of dice, so 3 experience points will buy your archaic guns up. I'm trying to remember if it's the one you're going to, so would it be 4 experience points? That'll make it easier. 2 experience points will buy it up to 2 dice plus 2. If you were to cheat by dropping your perception down, back using your starting dice and skills and increasing it, and then increasing using the start points, and the points you bought would be added on top. It'd be a way of cheating the system. So as soon as you get no points left, it's up to you, and it'll offer you a warning, but you'll be able to complete the character. And then will also record a log of your experience. You won't sent it, but it'll log every time you're given experience. So, simply put, a games master can monitor who added the experience, so a player can't go around behind their back and add extra experience. Anti-cheat thing, but I think it's a handy addition. I've started thinking more about the create a game and join a game modules. The ability to share your character sheets with your game master with a chat window, and the ability to share images. I'm looking further into the ability to add layers on top of those images to allow the games master to obscure images such as maps. So he'll be able to play over a map and then erase parts to clear it. I'm perhaps not explaining it brilliantly well, but it makes sense in here. And I think it'll be a handy ability. So when a map is first shown to the players, it's got fog of war and you can't see anything. And then as you go room to room, the game's is revealing more of the map as what you can see. I'm also thinking about weather effects on top of maps. So adding a transparent animated PNG layer that you would be able to drop in over a map to add rain to it, or snow, or lightning, or sandstorm. Now, it won't be perfect, because if you've got thick black walls between rooms or whatever, and you add rain, the rain is going to fall on top of the thick black areas as well. But I think it'd be quite atmospheric. I think it's a fun thing to add. And I don't see it being massively difficult to do. I like having fun. I like adding cool effects, which are easy for me to do. And I'm glad it's going ahead. I think I'm really past the hard part. I am, by trade, is what's called a back-end developer. I do databases and server-side scripting and all that kind of stuff. I'm not really a front-end developer. Hence, most of what down there, is done on the server side of things. While it looks quite pretty, it doesn't animate a lot. It's not like Facebook where pages load up and comments are added smoothly. You type stuff on a web page, it gets sent to the server does fancy stuff, and then presents you with more pages. And that's the way RPG Gamer works, because that's the kind of programmer I am. I do everything on the server side. Whereas for this, especially for stuff... Let me go. A Wookiee. See, he fits in the box. No, he doesn't. He's covering over the shadow. He's too fat for the box as well. Also, his text is forcing everything down. See, these are all presentational things, but it's still looking pretty good. Have I spent all the points on him? Yes. But all this, where you click on a button, it recalculates what's in here, it recalculates what's in here, and it's sending it back to the server to change the database. So if we now go away to a different page, or from a computer, and come back, changes are made. That's all a system called Ajax, which I've had some experience with, but that experience was very, very stale. So I had to go away and read a few books and reach out to the World Wide Web and update my knowledge. Now, I'm not sure I've done it the best possible way, and for spending experience, I might do it a different way. But this works. And I've now got that knowledge of how it all works in my head and what I can do better, so I can move forward. As I said, I've added all the species. There's a lot of tidying up. Let's go a second off something. So we'll call this Billy Bob. We'll create a character using the 2nd edition revised and expanded rules. He's no species at all, and we've got no background information on anything. So let's make him a Rhodian with Billy Bob Rhodian. And no, I don't want him to be force sensitive. Create that. The database does all its work. It brings us back with Billy Bob the Rhodian. All this text isn't formatted. There's random characters in there, but it's all in there. Computer running very. I get the Rhodian there with all his starting dice. Billy Bob the Rhodian. They have no special abilities. But I'm much more happy with it. I don't have much more to say. The next things on my list are to add the force powers, the finalize. Oh, yes, I remember what else. Another one is a presentational thing. Notice I'm making all of these a small identity card type thing, identity plate. So it'll have the character name, the species, here, and whether it's force sensitive, and the first 100 characters or so of the description with a small thumbnail copy of their image to the side. So you'll be able to rapidly see your characters, but in a nicer way than just a plain text list. And then I'll be on to the spending experience side of things. All the data's in the database, so it's just adding some fancy Ajax code to make it look nice. I hope this has been of interest to anybody out there. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll catch you later.